Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome to day 47 of a year of change. We are slowly creeping up on day 50, which I think I might use that as sort of a milestone, where it's the beginning of a new week on day 50, which I'm trying to figure out the math. I think it's just because I started on a Sunday and we're starting, day 50 is technically another Sunday, for me anyway. And I know that there's part of me that kind of wants to go day 30, 60, 90, because it's sort of like a month-long thing. But day 50, I think, is a good milestone as well. Because we can, even if we even it out to 400 days or 500 days or something, I don't know. We'll figure something out. But I wanted to sort of take today to sort of update you on some stuff that's been going on. Nothing major, just really with my eating stuff. And so I tried... Well, hang on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yesterday... for some reason, when I woke up, I had a really strong craving just to have a big breakfast. I've been having, normally I'll have, I'm not a big breakfast eater, so I'll normally have nothing, but since we started this program, I've been trying to have breakfast every day. So I'll have either, a bowl of cereal, or, a banana, or an apple, or something real quick, just so that I don't scarf down a whole bunch of stuff while I'm at work, or when I come home. But yesterday when I got up, I just had a really strong craving for a big, big breakfast. So I made a breakfast that I would normally have made 47 days ago. And had 4 pieces of toast and 3 big eggs and butter all over the toast and a whole bunch. That's it. I didn't have any bacon, unfortunately. And had that before I went to work. Which, unfortunately, sort of like the deep fried stuff, but not as gross. I'm not used to that anymore. So, it was before I ended up leaving for work, so it was within half an hour, 45 minutes, I wasn't feeling good. I was just really sluggish and bleh, and wanted to go back to bed. But I ended up going to work anyway. But throughout the entire day, I was just sort of sluggish and logy and just felt like shit all day long. But I came home and I had a regular dinner and everything else, and I was fine. So today, when I got up, I thought, all right, I'm going to try something different. And maybe it was just a bad day, but, going to try an experiment. Yay for science. So this morning when I got up, before I did anything else, before I got ready for work or anything else, I did my treadmill. And it wasn't much. I did 2 kilometers, which is just at a regular pace, walking about 2.5 miles an hour, about 4 kilometers an hour. I did half an hour, and that was it. I don't want to sort of go too far at the beginning because I'm just not going to want to keep up. So I thought, okay, good enough. I'll start with this, and I'll do 2 kilometers, and then that's it. I'll stop, even if I want to do more. After 2 kilometers, because it's been months since I did it, I wasn't out of breath or feeling bad, but I was, it's enough. That's enough. And then I had just a banana before I went to work, and then grabbed a coffee as I usually do on the way there. Anyway, throughout the day, I don't know if it was the combination of that. I always feel better after walking, and it just sort of kept me up a little bit during the day. I didn't feel as bad as I did yesterday. You're still going to work, so it still sucks because no one really wants to go to work. But it wasn't that same, I just want to go home and go to bed feeling. So, last night when I got home, I was ready to go to bed at 8:30 at night. And I thought, I'm not 90. I can't really do that. So I made myself stay up. And throughout the night, I sort of woke up a little bit more and stuff. But by the end of it, I could have probably gone to bed at 8:30 at night. But then I'd be up at 2 in the morning and it wouldn't make any sense. So I got up at 7 o'clock this morning, did all my stuff, then got cleaned up and went to work and everything else. So, so far today, I've only eaten 1,200 calories all day, which is really good. And I've burned off almost 400 of that. So I still have a ton of calories left to do, but I'm not really hungry, so I'm going to sort of let those go. And this is, ow, I just bit myself. Classy, huh? Just to give you an idea of the amazing coordination that it takes to film a YouTube video. You bite the inside of your mouth when you're talking. I completely lost my train of thought now. That's all it takes is just, it's like, no, and now I'm lost. I have no idea what I was talking about. Anyway, so last night, 8:30, came back, did the thing, went to sleep, got up, went to work, felt fine, came back, 1,200 calories. There we go. So, yes, I've eaten about 1,200 calories today, burned off about 400 of those early this morning when I was doing the treadmill. So I still have a whole bunch of calories I can do. I've eaten just over half of what my allotment is for the day, I think, after I do the math. I don't have my phone with me. So whatever the number is, I still have a whole ton I can do, but I'm not really hungry, so I'm not going to do that. But this is one of the dangers once we start exercising. Not when we first start out, because it's going to be very minimal. You're not even really going to be counting the calories because you're not really burning much. It's just to sort of get people moving. But walking for half an hour at a brisk pace burns off a certain number of calories. We'll say 100 calories just for the sake of argument. So those get added to my total for the day on MyFitnessPal. And once we start exercising more, it is going to be very tempting to look at it and go, I have an extra 1,000 calories for the day. I'm going to use them up. And it's okay to sort of look at your numbers and say that your calorie goal was 2,000 every single day. And then you burned off another 500 doing exercise. You now have 2,500 calories that you can eat throughout the day, and you're still under your goal. And that is okay if you go over those 2,000, because you're still burning off some, and that burn, supposedly, that keeps going throughout the day. So once you sort of start things up, it'll keep going. But there is a real danger of looking at it and going, oh, well, I can eat more now. And I want to avoid that because it's a very slippery slope to look at it and say, well, I walked for an hour, so I can eat twice as much as I was going to for supper. Because something like that, then it's very easy for me to slip back into that eating habit. And especially where I want to lose weight and I'm going to sort of maintain all the stuff, I don't need to worry as much about, staying under my original goal, because I am going to be burning more off. But I think it's best for me anyway, and it may be different for you, but I think it's going to be best for me just to, whatever I do burn off, if I go into those calories, that's okay, but I'm not going to make a point of saying, oh, well, I now have 400 extra calories that I can spend, because I do need to lose a lot of weight, and if I'm just barely under the mark every single time, then it's going to be really slow going. And plus, I think this is going to get me into a better frame of mind, just starting very small exercises right now, just walking. And gradually, as I build up and things like that, it'll become routine, and then, I'll sort of go from there. And hopefully pick up the pace a little bit. Now, when we do start the exercise for you guys, it's not going to be the same. You're not going to be, starting up and going, all right, walk 1 kilometer on a treadmill. You don't need to buy a treadmill. You don't even need to go outside and start walking. It's going to be something very, very simple, something that we aren't even going to start tracking for the first little bit until you start actually, doing some significant exercise, which is a little ways down the road. But I just thought it was sort of a neat little, I don't even know if it's an experiment really, just an observation that I made to see how eating how I used to eat, and I honestly, it's only been 47 days, but I can't quite remember if that was sort of an ongoing thing. That I do remember that, my eating habits, I was always tired. I was always very sleepy, but I had an extended vacation from work, so I didn't care. I would eat whatever I wanted, and then I would sleep for 2 or 3 hours, and then I would get up and I would eat again, and then I would go back to sleep. So I just thought it was interesting for me just to sort of start things out by going, okay, I'm going to start out with exercise first, and then a reasonable breakfast, and then my eating habits throughout the day as sort of they've evolved over the past 40-some days. Generally, when I'm home, I'll have my breakfast, and then I usually just drink coffee throughout the day. There's really nowhere for me to go. I mean, there's tons of places I can go. I work on a sort of a stretch of road that there's a McDonald's, there's Burger King, Wendy's, like everything is there on the same road. It's sort of like a big business commercial strip of road. And pretty much every single restaurant is there, from Kentucky Fried Chicken to Subway. There we go. There's another one. I was going to try to do an A to Z thing, and I'm like, I don't know what restaurants start with. Arby's, that starts with an A. And ZYXRSTE. Taco Bell. There you go. That's a T. It's the furthest down I can get. I don't know if there's a U, V, Vivaldi's. We have a place called Vivaldi's, so there's a V. W. I know I'm missing something with a W. Wendy's. Duh. Okay, so I don't think there's anything with an X. And this is sort of, now I'm rambling, but now I sort of want to go, we have a W. There's a Y. I don't think we have a Y, and I don't think we have anything with a Z in my town. We have a W, though. So from Arby's to Wendy's. Close enough. Shut up. It's fine. So we have everything on that strip, from Arby's to Wendy's. Oh, actually, I think Arby's closed. I've never eaten there. I don't like their stuff anyway, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, B, Burger King to Wendy's. Oh, I'm just going to stop doing this because otherwise it's going to drive me nuts, and I'm going to try to figure out what restaurants are there. If I remember one, then it'll be in the middle of some video. 2 weeks down the road, I'll go, Zanzibar, or the name of the restaurant, or whatever it is. So anyway, we have everything on there, from Burger King to Wendy's. But I don't really go out to get anything. I'm not a fast food person. And I mean, it's very good food, don't get me wrong. I used to be all the time. It's one of those things that I just sort of fell out of habit of doing, and I haven't gone back, and I don't sort of want to start again. But I don't really go anywhere, and we have free coffee, and it's pretty good coffee at work. Or, like tea or hot chocolate or whatever it is. There's a little machine, you can make all your sorts of stuff there. So generally that's what I'll do all day. And then when I come home, I'll have supper, which the past couple of days has been fairly hefty. I've had like a big bowl of pasta. But it's still less than I would normally eat. Normally I would have 2 or 3 bowls of the same size. But now, even tonight, because I haven't eaten all day, plus I exercised, so I made a whole bunch, and even by the end of it, I was just, it's too much. It's far too much food. That's probably why I'm not hungry. So I just thought it was an interesting thing to see how I felt then compared to how I feel now. And even now, after having a full meal, I'm still fairly wide awake, and it's pretty late. So I'm going to probably do it again. Like, I'm not going to have the big breakfast again because I really didn't feel well. And I wasn't sick. I didn't have any intestinal problems or anything. It was just that uncomfortable fullness where you just feel, bloated, and you just want to sit and go, I just don't want to wear pants and I want to stay home. So I'm hoping I'm not the only person that feels that way. I did wear pants because I had to go to work. It's a rule they have there, which, anyway. So on Friday, I'm going to probably do the same. Where I'm going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday for my exercise right now. And I'm going to try to keep it to very low-key stuff. I'm only going to do half an hour on Friday as well. That's 2 kilometers. And it's still faster than I would normally walk. So for me, anyway, it is a little bit of exercise. And it'll burn off a little bit. And hopefully it'll keep going throughout the day. I generally feel better afterwards. And as long as I don't overload on really heavy stuff first thing in the morning, I should be fine. So I went out and I bought, I was going to actually do that earlier on tonight for this one. I bought apples again. So we're going to do an apple thing probably next week for the snack food thing. And I sort of briefly touched on it, but I bought some, so we'll get into that. We'll delve into that a little deeper. And as well, this is going to be off topic a little bit, where it's sort of a snacky thing, but when we're eating those pickles, if you're like me, I tried to clean out my fridge, and I found 8 empty jars of pickle juice in there. So got rid of the majority of them because what the hell do you need 8 empty pickle jars for? But I bought jalapeno peppers and I chopped them up and threw those in. So I'm going to let those sit for a couple of weeks. So if you like spicy food, it's a good way to sort of reuse that pickle juice, which sounds kind of gross, but it's better than just drinking it. But, I mean, it'll stay for weeks. And if you like jalapeno peppers, they aren't too hot. You can just wash them. You don't need to blanch them or boil them or do anything weird to them. I just wash them, chop them up. You don't need the stem. Throw everything in there. And the big plastic pickle jars hold like 6 jalapeno peppers when they're all chopped up. And I'll mix that in with everything. So I'm all over the place in this video. I do apologize. But I just sort of wanted to touch on that because it's not really anything that I would say, oh, well, today we're going to talk about pickled jalapeno peppers. And I know in my head now I'm going Peter Piper. But for that, it's like, that's it. That's all I have to say. So that's not a 15-minute video. It's a little 2-minute blurb. saying, here, you can do this so that you're not just dumping out pickle juice. And I'm sure that some of you are going to try it with like little pearl onions or something else. I don't know what else you can pickle, but if you have a preference for something, throw those in there and try that, because it's still a tremendous amount of sodium and stuff, but it's something to sort of add. Like, I'll throw in the pickled jalapeno peppers into pretty much everything that I eat, because I really, really enjoy them. Because they aren't too hot, they have a lot of flavor in them, and when you add the pickles in with it, they're just great. Anyway, that was going to be part of the apple thing, which is now going to be later on down the road. And the apple thing isn't one of those things that's, you'll feel energized after eating an apple. No, it's just an apple. It's not anything major. It's just another one of those sort of alternative snack things. And I'm really picky with them, so I sort of narrowed it down to 2. But anyway, that is pretty much it for this video. Just sort of wanted to touch base with you, let you know about the big breakfast thing versus the treadmill thing, and sort of how that went. It's a very rudimentary experiment, I guess, but to me anyway, it worked. It made a difference in that I think that I'm going to keep doing the treadmill, and it'll be interesting to see how things go tomorrow when I don't do it, but I'm still eating normally instead of having the big breakfast. So I can compare the big breakfast to not doing anything, regular breakfast not doing anything, and regular breakfast with the treadmill. All I can say is that for today, I was more alert, I was more awake, I just sort of felt better, and I don't know if some of that is psychological, thinking, I did something productive, I did an exercise, things were good that way. I do know, though, that eating a huge breakfast in the morning is not for me anymore. It's just, it slows me down throughout the entire day to a point where I just want to nap, and I lost focus, I wasn't paying attention, and so I don't have a job that requires that. I'm not, I'm not a surgeon or anyone that has to direct children across traffic. So if I'm losing focus for a day, it's not the end of the world. But just for me, it's just one of those things that I just didn't like how I felt yesterday, and I felt a lot better today. So I'm assuming that's sort of part of it. So I'm going to try it again. Tomorrow I'm not going to be doing my treadmill, but then, or actually no, tomorrow for you anyway, I won't be doing it. But Friday I'm going to, and then just 3 days a week, just keep doing that and get into a habit, and then gradually start to increase as things go, and see where things go from there. But for right now, thank you very much. This is it for this video, so thank you for watching. If you liked it, please poke the like button for me. And in the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.